Right, and welcome back to another exciting, fun-filled episode of Hooner's Garage. More post, show you that in a second. Getting on with the rat bike, got a few hours today in the garage, so try and make the most of that. But the mailman has been, and this time, because today I'm gonna try have a go at the seat, because I remembered spray glue. So that's cool. Where are they? The replacement indicators turned up. If you remember, I said I had those blue indicators for the GSX and one of them was chipped, and I put in a complaint, and they've sent me a new set of indicators and a new flash unit, a complete new package for £11.45. Yeah, alright. It was dodgy. It was not, they're not the greatest quality. One of them was chipped when it turned up, but to be fair, they have immediately shipped out another set, which I have here somewhere on the bench, which is a mess. And a whole new flash unit as well, so that's fantastic. So I've got more indicators in the parts bin. Wicked. I just need another bike to fit into now. I've also got new ignition, new fuel filler cap, and seat lock for the TZR. They came as a package again off of eBay. I did put a new ignition on the TZR, but it's only the ignition. Because I'm me, I completely forgot to realise that if I just buy an ignition, I'm going to have to buy a fuel filler cap and a replacement seat lock, because I haven't got any of the original keys, which means I'll have 3 keys on the key ring, which is a pain in the backside. So I found a place that does all 3. I think it was 20 quid. So they're not, again, not majorly expensive, but I took a punt, see how that goes. So I've got to take the ignition off of the TZR to replace it with this one, so I have 1 set of keys for the TZR, which does mean now that I have another ignition to put on the FJ, on the rat bike. So I've got the ignition problem sorted, I've got an ignition, we're all good. What else was it today? Oh yeah, I did break the rule of rat bike ethos of use what you had, because I don't have a rear tail light that will go on the back of that bike. And because of the way that I've made the back end look, I can't even bodge what I've got. In my ability, I can't bodge what I've got. So £3.99 LED rear stop and tail light, that can go on the back. It's only £3.99. Again, not a huge quality item, but it's a rat bike, so I'm not overly fussed. The problem that I have, and I'll show you that in a second. So more work on the FJ, more parts arriving, foam mat, seat, got a few things to get through today. Let's see how far we get. So stick around, stay tuned, see how badly wrong I can get this. Right, so here we are, the back end of the FJ. This obviously, you need to have a light at the back. I mean, these little, you also need to have a reflector, but I can stick a little one of those on there or something. So I'm thinking something like that on the back. It does come with the white lights underneath, so I've got a choice. I can either make some sort of, hold the camera right, make some sort of bracket here that brings a number plate out, sort of like the back end of the bike here, but I don't know how that's going to affect the tyre when it goes up and down on the suspension. I mean, it'll have to come out sort of here-ish, and I'm not sure what the legal requirements are for the angle of a number plate. The other option is to turn it upside down so the white light shines up, and then put the number plate on the back when I put the frame up on here. Stick the number plate on it there. Something of those kidney. I still have the option, I guess, with a side plate, something like that. Mount it off of this side plate, possibly. That might look pretty good. Don't know. I was chatting. Well, I got some messages left on the video. I can't remember the name of the chap who left it. Was it Bollocky Bill? I don't know. I'm sorry if I got it wrong. But I'm going to put a mat on the top of this, and then the original idea was to put like a hoop up like that, so I can put my camping gear on it. But he's. I really do apologise if I cannot remember your name. I shall put it. I'll just see if I can put it on the subtitle, sort of down here. But the person that's down there told me or gave me an idea. If I mount, so I've got this cabinet door here with the perforations, and he said something about rails, so you've got something to bungee it to. Now, I had thought about putting hooks on the side, but then I'm thinking if something does go wrong, do I want massive great big hooks sticking out the side digging into things? If I take Gary's advice, which I probably will because I usually do, and I cut this up here to match the frame rails, then I can just bungee straight onto the frame rail, surely. But then I had the idea when he said a rack. If I take some of that and then bend it so it's like a, I don't know, on here, so it's flat like that but comes up in like a scoop, camping equipment, that was another one, like some sort of mesh scoop that I can put my camping gear on, maybe make this a little bit longer, something like that might look pretty good. I don't know, I hadn't actually thought of that one, so thank you very much whoever that person is. The bottom of the screen, let's just see the bottom of the screen there, whoever you are, thank you. That's an interesting idea, I hadn't thought of it, certainly one to bear in mind. I'm thinking using some of this mesh, fold it, I might have to toy with that one, that might be a good one. But in the meantime, it's that tail light. Can I turn, if I go that route with the thing, can I turn that light upside down and have white light shining up onto a number plate? Because cars have it, they have 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. Can you do the same thing for a bike, or is there some sort of legal mumbo jumbo about a white light at the back of the vehicle? I'm sure there is, but I don't know what it is. But anyway, there we go. Right, so there's the tailpiece with its 2 odd indicators. I think this is the fun part about this build, is that with the GSX and the TZR and the other bikes, is that they have to match, they have to look the same. With a Rat bike, it doesn't, it's just put it on, and it's nice to have that sort of freedom, I guess, where it doesn't matter, you can just, that'll do, that's it, that's fine, and that's quite a nice, that's one of the things I like about it. But I do find myself having to get out of the things, well, you can't do it like that because that wouldn't look right. If I hold the camera level, it's because the bike's at an angle. So it's nice to have that freedom, and sometimes you just have to remember it's just a Rat bike. It doesn't have to look even, they don't have to match, it just has to look as it's going to look, and that's quite fresh. It's certainly, I mean, I'm enjoying the build with the TZR, and I'm really enjoying this build as well. So, but there we go, odd indicators. I think it looks bloody marvellous. Right, so this is the seat, obviously, and this is the phone, conveniently hiding the mess that is the workbench. It's just an old sleeping mat, compressed foam fibre, I don't know what it is, but it's uncomfortable to sleep on, I know that, but that's probably because I'm old, or older, or getting older, or starting to feel my age is probably more it. So I'm going to use this to coat that, and I think the main problem around here is going to be this bend, but I should be able to cut this widthways and it should still fit, so I should be able to get a few layers out of it. And I'm also going to need some to put around this bit of the bike. Do this without looking at it upside down, that bit, because that's where my arse is going to go. So I wanted some padding on there, not that there isn't enough padding on my arse already, but a bit more would be nice. So right, so I really need a tripod because this is impossible. Rolling a whole section out on there and trying to push it in to make it fit this angle here is just impossible. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to do it in 2 stages. So glue this on there, and then trim it, and then lay the bottom piece. Maybe glue another piece on there, and then again trim it off, and then lay a bottom piece. I think that's going to be the way forward to get it, otherwise it's just going to pull away at the corners and so we'll give that a try. I have only got 1 roll of that, but this is cheap and nasty and horrible, and I am actually getting some sort of, I guess, I don't know what the right word is for it, some therapy from cutting that out. I slept on that for 2 nights and I have never had a more uncomfortable, I've had colder nights, but not more uncomfortable night's sleep. I don't think that was just awful. So cutting it up, there's actually a bit of therapy involved. So get the spray glue out, spray that on there, and see where it happens. See what happens. It's all just experimental. I might have to rip it all off because it's gone completely wrong. And yeah, but you know, I guess that's part of it. But there we go. So I'll crack on and get that done. Right, that's, having just turned the camera on, that's a lot more visible through the camera than it is in real life. Those indents, they don't look anything like that in real life. That's quite bizarre. But there we go. I've got 4 layers on, and this bit here, I've only taken it up to there. I can mould that. I can take a like sandpaper or something similar, something with a rough edge, and just smooth that out. That is quite, that doesn't, you can't see that. That's really pronounced. It's actually quite comfortable to sit on at the level that it is at the moment. I have got some more of this, so if I need some more I can add another layer in if I need to, but you can't feel that at all. And it fits on, I'll put it on the bike so you can have a look. Right, well obviously it doesn't look as good as it's hopefully going to look when I finished, but it fits, it's on. It's actually very comfortable to sit on, despite what that looks like. It is comfortable to sit on, well, for the period of time that I've sat on it. But like I said, once I've covered it and everything else, if it is uncomfortable, then I can do something else to fix it. But at the moment, this is what I've got, this is what I'm using, this is just having a go. I've seen Del Boy and Johnny Cactus do it, something, but I think it was with the exact same way, really. So I had it, give it a try. If it works, lovely. If it doesn't, then we'll find something else. But big thank you to Del Boy and to Johnny Cactus for the videos that they put up. For certainly refer to those in getting this done. So let this dry, then I can cut this, shape this out, and then I need to get something. I need to get some sort of cover for it. What cover do I get? But yeah. I'm actually, it doesn't look great at the moment, but hopefully it will do when it's finished. But I'm really chuffed with that. I'm really chuffed with that. And I'm still, Salvador's, see that? Scoop on the back, industrial rat bike survival type thing. Yeah, that's still, that one's still in there. That one is definitely still in there. I'm just wondering how, if that steel box that I've got to go over the back is going to be strong enough to hold it, or whether or not I'd have to put something, drill something through this to support it. I don't know, we'll have to see, but that's pretty wicked. I like that. Right, seeing there's not really much else I can get on with on the FJ at the moment until I strip the ignition out, and then I can test those indicators, but I need an ignition. So I've got one in there, so maybe it's time, because I've got a bit of time left, we'll change the locks, because this is the seat for the TZR. It's a bit mucky, I'll probably end up recovering it, but maybe the time I've got left, let's see how far we can get with changing the locks and stuff on the wait for the camera to adjust because it's cheap and nasty on the TZR, so we all have matching locks on that. So part 2 of today. This is just such a terrible camera. Look at that. How long did that take? That's just bad, isn't it? I will get a new camera at some point, people. But yeah, crack on with that. Right, so tank's on. Although this is a tad on the loose side. Can you stop that from doing that? Okay. This is Harriet. This is the next of the garage goblins. Yeah. Yeah. So that's on, although that doesn't sit flush. And there's no rubber seal for around there. Don't know if there was supposed to be one included in the kit, but there isn't one with it. The seat lock goes on, the seat goes on, although it is a bit temperamental. And this is a future garage goblin, this is Oliver. Yeah. Okay, but there we are. Tank and seat on. Lovely. You alright, mate? Yeah? Yeah. Do you like the bike? Go on then, lean forward. Put your hands on the bars. You have to lean forward, Oliver. Go on. Lean forward. You can lean forward. Just lean forward over the tank. Go on. You can do it. You can do it, mate. Go on. That's it, you big brave boy. Right, don't try and turn the handlebars. Because they won't move because they're on the paddock stand. What do you reckon? Yeah? A born biker? When your revs get too high, mate, you've got to change up, alright? Otherwise you'll break the engine. So Oliver, what are you going to ask your mum and dad for when you get older? Do you want a bike? You want a motorbike? Do you want a small one or a big one? A small one. Yeah, you get some. That's a small one. That's only a 125. So you're going to ask your mum and dad for one, are you?
Yeah.
What cut? You going to ride with me?
Yeah.
What colour motorbike do you want?
A green one.
You want a green one? You sure you don't want a black one?
No.
Alright, a green one then. So you want a green motorbike? That's what you've got to start asking your parents for. Do you reckon you'll get it?
Yeah.
Do you reckon your mum and dad will let you have a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
A real one.
A real one?
Oh, like what these like?
Lights, you have to turn the ignition on first. On there, and then all the lights work.
Like this shit.
Well, I'll have to get the key. You want the key?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go and find the key. It's the black key you want.
That key one. This one?
In that hole there.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. And turn it.
Which way? This way?
Clockwise.
This way? Yeah.
That way. That way.
This way?
Alright, now the headlights are on.
Oh yeah.
Harriet can see those.
Yep.
And if you flick that switch
Yeah.
up, no, let him do it. You should see that light comes on to tell you that the high beams are on. Alright? Yeah?
Did you? What
Yeah.
did you want there?
You've lost one. You've broken it. Those are the indicators. You flick that way. That one will flash to tell you that these indicators are now flashing.
Okay, but where's that
And then
bit go?
on the floor, pick it up a minute. And that way does that one.
I can get the
And then your lights are there. And that's your horn. That's the one that makes the noise.
Whoopsie.
Oliver, that one. Press that one.
That one?
Yeah.
Make the horn, that's the horn. That one?
No, the one at the bottom. The round one at the bottom. Or maybe it won't. Hang on, let me try. Oh dear. That doesn't sound very healthy, does it?
No.
That doesn't sound much like a horn.
Easy.
You broke my motorcycle.
I haven't.
Yeah, it was you. That was working till you sat on my bike. It's your fault. You've got to fix it.
This is the black bit. What the hell?
Is it?
Maybe that would do it.
Thank you.
Maybe that would do it.
Right. Harriet's turn. I'll come and get you on. And this is Harriet, the other garage goblin, or the next garage goblin. Go on then. What do you reckon?
No.
Lean forward properly. That's it.
No.
You got to look forward. You got to look at where you're going. What do you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want a motorcycle as well?
Yeah.
What do you reckon the chances of your mum and dad letting you have a motorcycle are?
I don't have a clue.
You don't have a clue. Do you reckon they're good?
Yeah. Go with this time.
Right.
Okay. So
What colour motorcycle do you want when you get older?
orange and a black one.
An orange and a black one. I've got a mate who watches these videos, a very good friend of mine called Gary, who's got an orange and black motorcycle with a turbo on it. Yeah, it goes really fast. He's going to love you because you like orange and black. There you go. So you looking forward to coming out into the garage?
Yeah.
You got to do the indicators on the GSX?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So nice and comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't reckon your parents are going to let you have a bike, you know.
Oh.
I don't reckon they will. But when you get one, we'll go out for a ride.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the tribe gone. So I'm almost out of time. I'm not sure really what I expected from this. I mean, these were only 20 quid. But this fits in alright, unlocks fine, no problems, but it does sit rather proud, like I said before, and there's no rubber seal around there, so I'm going to probably have to get one of those. So that's a concern on that. I don't know if that's acceptable. It seems to be a bit more play than there is on the other bikes. That rubber seal, I'm thinking, is fairly important. I don't understand why it didn't come with one. The ignition I haven't fitted yet, and the reason for that is this side lock is a real pain in the backside to get it to engage, and then when it is engaged, actually getting the key in and turning is, I'm not sure. Let me just, what I'll do is I'll stop this, I'll get this locked down, and then I'll show you. Right, this is the seat locked down. Put the key in, and then it will not turn there, and then you can take it off. Unfortunately, that does put a lot of pressure on a cheap key. I'm not sure if you can see it on this, which is already starting to warp, and I've only done that 2 or 3, I think that's probably the 3rd or 4th time that I've done it, so I'm a little bit worried about that. You can see that? Not, yeah, the same with this one. It puts a bit of a twist on it, so it's not, I'm not overly impressed with that. However, having said that, I have got another seat, and this one, oh, getting caught up. This one has had the lock bit taken out. The, let's see here, the hole for it is still there, it's here, but the lock mechanism for it, which sits there, has been removed. So what I might do is take this, all of it, this bit off of that bike, off of that seat, put it in here, and just see if it's a positional thing. I can't remember which was the original seat. I think I might have to look back through some old photographs and some pictures to find out which is the original seat. But yeah, it was 20 quid. I mean, I took a punt on it. The ignition seems to be okay. The ignition seems to operate okay. My concern is that how long are the keys going to last? I might be able to get some stronger ones cut, I guess. I don't know if that's possible, but it certainly takes a lot of effort on that back one. I might fool around with some lithium grease, see if it's just the fact that it's old and a bit gacky. So there we go. A few more, but that's it for today. That's all, pretty much all I can get done before I have to pack up. So here we go. Right, unfortunately the clock is against me again, but I have pretty much got done a lot of what I wanted to do. Really liking the back end of the FJ. The odd indicators I think are fantastic. Still toying with that idea of that curved meshed tail holder on the back, rack on the back. I quite like that idea, although having the way that I've connected the if you look back on the video, the way that I've connected the tail end is 2 bolts through, but there's a gap between the bolt and the actual tail piece where it bolts on, so that you've got a little bit of movement there. I'm not sure that's going to be enough. It's certainly enough to hold indicators. I'm not sure I actually think about if it's going to be enough to hold the weight of a sleeping bag. What I may have to do is, there's a central bar that goes across, is look at some way of maybe packing that out, raising that up, so that the tailpiece rests on that, and that gives it a lot more strength and support, and then that will definitely be able to take that tailpiece, which I'm thinking is a definite possibility. I'm not saying it's going on, but it's an idea that I've been thinking about all day, and I think it's one that definitely does have merit, and I will be investigating that further. I really like that, as opposed to just the sissy bar with that. Number plate, if I go with that rack, then it's either going to have to be a side number plate, or I'm just going to have to pull the number plate down over the back wheel, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. But I haven't done that today because I wanted to make sure how I was doing the back end before I started drilling any holes that I then have to try and fill or hide or block or whatever. But there we go. TZR, still not sure about that filler cap. Still not sure about that filler cap. The tail lock, not overly keen on that. I might try it out on the other one. I've also got some lithium grease and some other greases. I'll oil up the grease at the mechanisms and see if that solves that issue for that being overly stiff, and look at the possibility of getting some stronger keys cut. Still not, like I said, still not over sure about that fuel feeler cap. Maybe some feedback from you guys. Is that okay? Is that really not acceptable? I guess the way to do it would be to fill it with something and then turn it and then just see if it leaks. I don't know. But if it ain't up to what I bought it for, I know it was only 20 quid, but if it isn't fit for purpose, then I will be asking for a refund on it, and then I shall probably just have to go down the more expensive route of buying something more expensive, which I probably should have done in the first place. But it was what I found on eBay. It was all there. It was 20 quid. The guy assured me it would fit and it would be fine. I'm not overly sure on that myself, but then I'm not necessarily the experienced person that would know that that's okay. It certainly's got more play in it than any other fuel tanks on any of the other bikes, so that's what makes me worry about it. Apart from that, all good. So yeah, we met Harriet. She's coming out. I've told her she's fitting the indicators. She's looking forward to that. Oliver, I think, wants to come out as well, but he's a little bit more of a handful, and he's a lot of energy and he gets distracted quite easily. So I'm not sure. Maybe soon, at some point soon. We'll see. We'll see if we can find something that he can do. But it would be good to get him out here as well, if I can deal with it for a day. He can be hard work, bless him. So there we go. Hopefully I get some time in the garage tomorrow. Probably tidying up, but if I can get something done, then of course I'll record it and upload it. But until then, thanks very much for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers for subscribing. Ride safe, take care, and I'll see you on the next episode of Huna's Garage.